grade. Today we're going to learn about identifying right angles. So I have a rectangle here. A rectangle has right angles. They're special angles that mathematicians call right angles because they look like an L. You can turn it any direction and it's still an L. How many right angles does this rectangle have? It has 4. This is a right angle, this is a right angle, this one, and this one. So this has 4 right angles. Look at the angles that I have drawn up here on the board. Each of those are actually right angles. And if I want to check it, I could take a piece of paper that has the perfect angle on it and stick it in this spot. So if I stick that down there, you can see that that's a right angle. If I take my paper and go here, it lines up with the edge of my paper on both sides, that's a right angle. This one here, a right angle. This one is a right angle, and this is a right angle. Let's try one that's not a right angle. If I were to draw an angle that looked like this, let's see how that's not a right angle. If I lay my paper up against one side, see how it doesn't match up with the other side of my paper? So that's not a right angle. So we're going to put an X on that. And if I did an angle like this, let's see if that's a right angle. If I line my paper up with one side, it does not match up the other side of my paper. So that is also not a right angle. Okay, mathematicians also have a special way of showing that an angle is a right angle. They do that by drawing a tiny square in that angle. So like for this one, if I put a little square in the rest of the square, that means that that's a right angle. Same for here and here. And I could do those like that. Let's look at the square here. So how many angles, the square has 4 angles, right? How many of those angles are right angles? Look at it and see. You can even put your paper in there. Let's do this bottom one. Let's do this angle. And do that top angle. See how it lines up with both sides? So a square has 4 right angles. So if I were going to draw the symbol in there to show that they're right angles, it would be little squares like this. So that means that they're right angles. So if you need to show me on your paper a right angle on a shape, you would draw that little square in the right angle. Let's look at this last shape here. Look at that shape and see if you can figure out how many right angles it has. Do you think this is a right angle? Let's check and see. It lines up at the top and the side, so that is a right angle. Let's put our right angle symbol in there. What about this one? Do you think that's a right angle? It's just like this one, wasn't it? Lines up with both sides of my paper, so I'm going to draw my right angle symbol in there. How about this angle here? Is that a right angle? Nope, it's too big, isn't it? If I try to lay my paper on there, it doesn't match up with the other side. So we're not going to put a right angle symbol here. That's exactly the same, so that's not a right angle either. Let's try this one. Is that a right angle? Nope, not a right angle, isn't it? So we're going to have just 2 right angles on that shape. On your homework paper, you'll see that you have some shapes that you'll have to draw right angle symbols in as well. So check that today as you do your paper. All right, and back by popular demand, the basketball shot. Today's shot, I'm going to try to do it a little closer. So let me get up a little closer. All right. Do you think I'm going to make this one? Make your prediction.
She's not.
Zach's shaking his head no. All right, let's see. Ready?